She handed me a pink envelope covered in butterflies, smiling, her son and daughter-in-law filming my face. I opened it in front of everyone, and inside were divorce papers. On my birthday, in my workplace. But what they didn't know, I wasn't breaking. I was already free. If you've ever been humiliated by family, if you've ever been told you're not enough, hit that subscribe button right now. Like this video. Because what happens next isn't just revenge. It's rebirth. This is the story of how I turned their cruelty into my greatest victory. Let's dive in. My name is Jennifer Walsh. I'm 31 years old. And for 2 years, I lived in a house where I was never welcome. It started the moment I married David. Not because he didn't love me, once he did, but because his mother, Margaret, made it her mission to make me feel like an outsider. A mistake. A temporary fix for her perfect son. She called me David's wife. Never Jennifer. Never daughter. When we went to family events, she'd introduce him to relatives like, "This is David. He's an accountant." Then, with a dismissive wave, "And this is his wife. She works at a restaurant." Like Romano's, the place I'd poured my soul into, was something to be ashamed of. She didn't just disrespect me. She erased me. Thanksgiving? She toasted David's professional success and Emma's engagement to a doctor. When I said I was grateful for family, she didn't even acknowledge I'd spoken. Christmas? My gift was wrapped in yesterday's newspaper. Inside, a book titled Professional Success for Women. The message was clear. I was homework, not family. And David? He watched. He didn't defend me. He didn't correct her. He just stayed silent. And slowly, his silence became agreement. By the spring of our second year, I wasn't a wife. I was a project. An embarrassment to be managed. But I still hoped. I told myself, maybe she'll change. Maybe one day she'll see me. Then, one Tuesday night, I overheard her on the phone. "I keep praying he'll come to his senses," she said. "He deserves someone who enhances his life, not holds him back." A pause. "He's such a good boy. I just don't understand why he insists on dragging dead weight along with him." Dead weight. That was me. I stood in the hallway, clutching one of David's shirts, my knuckles white. My chest tightened. I wanted to scream, to march in and demand how she could pray for the destruction of her son's marriage. But I didn't. I went to our bedroom, sat on the edge of the bed, and for the first time, I realized this wasn't about acceptance. It was about survival. I started fighting back. I enrolled in community college. Nights after my shifts at Romano's, I sat in classrooms with other working adults, studying business, accounting, communication. Tuition drained our savings. David frowned. "Are you sure this is worth it? Maybe focus on getting a job first." His words echoed Margaret's tone. "Lower your expectations. Stay in your lane." At work, Mr. Romano noticed I was tired. "You seem troubled," he said gently. I almost told him everything. Instead, I smiled. "Just stress." But Maria, the head cook, saw through it. She'd hand me coffee during breaks. "Don't let anyone make you ashamed of honest work," she'd say. Tony, the youngest waiter, would grin. "You're the smartest person here, Jennifer. Those companies don't know what they're missing." They saw me. But at home, I was drowning. Bills piled up. Rejections flooded my inbox. Not the right fit. Insufficient experience. "We're looking for candidates with degrees." Each one chipped away at me. One night, after a brutal rejection from Coastal Bank, I sat at the break table, head in my hands. Maria slid a plate of pasta in front of me. "Eat. You need strength." I laughed through tears. Maybe Margaret's right. Maybe I'm just not cut out for this. Maria's eyes narrowed. "Don't you dare believe that. People like her build walls to make themselves feel tall. You climb." Her words lit a small flame inside me. And then the call. Monday afternoon. Unknown number. "Hi, may I speak with Jennifer Walsh? This is Jessica Martinez from Grand Plaza Hotel HR." I sat up, heart in my throat. "We received your application. Your restaurant experience stands out." We invest in people like you, leadership training, mentorship, cross-department exposure. We'd like to move forward. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just breathed.
They saw me.
Not as temporary. Not as unsuitable. As capable. And then Jessica said, "Your references spoke highly of you." Mr. Romano was generous with praise. Mr. Romano. He'd vouched for me. That night, I printed the offer letter. 3 copies. One for my portfolio. One to keep. One to carry with me. I practiced in the mirror. I have news. A hotel recognized what you refused to see. If Margaret wanted an audience, she'd get one. Just not the one she expected. The week before my birthday, the house hummed with fake excitement. Margaret called twice. "Wear something nice. Nothing too formal. You'll want to be comfortable for what we have planned." Emma texted the family group, fireworks emojis, party hats. David kept checking his phone, smiling, whispering, "Tomorrow will be unforgettable." I smiled back, but inside I knew. They weren't planning a celebration. They were planning a spectacle. And on my birthday at Romano's, my workplace, they made it real. We sat in the corner booth. Maria winked from the kitchen. Tony gave me a thumbs up. Margaret ordered lobster ravioli, the most expensive dish. Emma scrolled her phone, smirking. Then came the cake. Sandra, a server I'd trained, brought it out. "Happy birthday, Jennifer." The restaurant sang. I closed my eyes. My wish. Courage. Then Margaret reached into her purse. Out came the envelope. Pink paper. Silver butterflies. Like a cruel fairy tale. "We have a special gift," she announced, voice carrying. "From all of us." David and Emma raised their phones. Cameras rolling. I took the envelope. My hands didn't shake. I opened it. Petition for dissolution of marriage. Divorce papers. On my birthday. In my workplace. On camera. Gasps rippled through the restaurant. Margaret leaned forward.
"Well,
"Aren't you going to say something?" I looked down at the papers, at the line waiting for my signature, and I realized this wasn't their victory. It was my freedom. So I picked up the pen, and I signed. Not with a trembling hand. Not with tears. With clarity.
Gasps.
Confusion. Margaret's smile faltered. I closed the folder. Looked up.
"Thank you," I said.
"This is the most generous gift you could have given me." Silence. Then I reached into my purse. Pulled out my own envelope.
Plain. White.
No butterflies. I placed it on the table. "While you were planning my destruction," I said, "I was preparing something else." I unfolded the letter. The Grand Plaza Hotel offered me a position. Guest Services Coordinator. $45,000 a year. Full benefits. Housing included. The words landed like stones. Margaret's face twisted. Emma's phone trembled. David's camera lowered. His mouth hung open. I stood. Held the letter high. "This offer recognizes what none of you ever did. That my experience matters. That my worth isn't defined by your approval." Then, cheers. Maria clapped first. "You deserve this." Tony joined. Mr. Romano boomed. To Jennifer. The restaurant erupted. Glasses raised. Applause. Shouts. Not for them. For me. Margaret's plan had backfired. Their video wouldn't show my breakdown. It would show their cruelty. And my liberation. I turned to Emma. "Make sure you keep recording. People should see the truth." Then I looked at David. "I didn't plan your betrayal. But I planned my escape." I slid out of the booth. Margaret reached for my arm. I stepped back. Don't touch me again." And then I walked out. The applause followed me like music. 2 weeks later, I moved into my new apartment, employee housing at the Grand Plaza. No more Margaret's footsteps outside my door. No more overheard prayers for my failure. Just silence.
Peace. Mine.
At work, I thrived. My instincts from Romano's, calming angry customers, managing chaos, were exactly what they wanted. Within 4 months, I was promoted. Assistant Guest Services Manager. Salary, $50,000. 18 months later, guest services manager. $60,000. A team of 12. A corner office. One evening, standing at my window, I thought of that pink envelope. And I realized Margaret had given me the greatest gift of my life. Not the divorce, but the clarity. She tried to erase me. Instead, she made space for me to rewrite myself. Her weapon became my key. And I wasn't done rising. I don't wonder what Margaret thinks of me anymore. Because it doesn't matter. What matters is the woman in the mirror, no longer shrinking, no longer begging for approval. She's standing tall. And she's enough. If this story moved you, if you've ever been told you're not enough, hit like, subscribe, and share this video. Leave a comment. Have you ever turned someone's cruelty into your strength? What was your breaking point? We read every one. Because stories like this, they're not just about revenge. They're about rising. And rising? That's worth fighting for.